Well, Newshub National correspondent Patrick Gower joins me now. And Patrick, it's also emerged today that Topher and Bridget travelled into Iran despite official advice not to enter the country.
Yeah, the New Zealand Safe Travel Warning, which is what all Kiwis should look at before they go anywhere, was very explicit at the time. Do not travel into Iran. And actually, if you look closely at that, there are a few red flags there. It warns about border crossings, which they obviously did coming in across from Turkey. Warns about the use of a drone, which if you look at their Instagram, they're very often using a drone for their photography. And it warns about photography as well, which is something that they're often doing. So some real red flags for them there that may well have ended them up in the situation that they wound up in.
I was going to ask you, do we know why they were detained?
No, we don't know yet. We don't know yet, but it's very common actually for foreign citizens to be detained in Iran for the kinds of things that I've just told you, using drones and things like that. And as you saw in my story there, they can be detained for some time, often up to years, and deals need to be done to get them out of there, geopolitical deals, prisoner swaps and things like that. So the consequences are very, very serious if you do get caught there, which often happens.
Well, what do we know about those negotiations to get them out, Paddy? What do we know? The Prime Minister says a deal wasn't done, but what do we know about it? Yeah,
the Prime Minister said a deal wasn't done, and that would be a great result for New Zealand and a great result for our diplomats, because we know, as I said, that Australia needed to swap a prisoner that they were holding for the United States of America to get the last lot of backpackers out. Another Australian who was taken out of there, they had to release 2 prisoners from Thailand. Thailand got involved to release prisoners. So if they have got out without a deal, that is a fantastic result for our diplomats who have been negotiating behind the scenes. That's why they needed the media blackout. They said, we need it, we're close, and it seems that they've managed to get them out of there, and if it's without any cost to New Zealand Inc., what a bonus.
Absolutely. There was some criticism today from a former detainee in Australia, a woman who was detained in Iran, saying that the media blackout is the wrong thing to do, that actually when the media turned onto her story, it improved her conditions in prison. What's your view on that media blackout, the need for it?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 schools of thought, and that's one of them, that pressure can help and protect you when you're in prison. What was explained to me was that these Kiwis were not actually in a prison. She was in one of the most dangerous prisons actually on earth, Evin prison in Tehran, near Tehran. These Kiwis, it appears that they may have been detained in some other sort of way, i.e. some sort of house arrest, or even at one point allowed to be back with the New Zealand Embassy. So the belief was, look, we don't need international pressure to protect them. What we need is time and space to get them out of here. That raised a situation where the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, actually went soft on Iran throughout all of this, despite being called on from women around the world to rise up in what is one of the great women's rights issues of this time, you know, Iran virtually in revolution. Jacinda Ardern staying quiet on it in order to protect these 2 Kiwis who went in there, as I said, and many people will wonder about this, despite a travel warning.
Well, Patrick Gower, thank you so much for your reporting and for joining us here on 8 o'clock.
It's been fantastic to be here at 8 o'clock.